another brand new episode of The Leading Circle. This season is packed with episodes that challenges the mind, ask important questions with the sole aim of providing solution into all the things going on in our country. My name is Toby Jolubo. I will be right back after this commercial break and we will meet my guest. Welcome to another brand new season of The Leading Circle. On this season, we're going to be talking about some challenging episodes that we need to address. This is just preferring solutions to all the issues around us. Well, before I start discussing today, I will go on a quick commercial break. And when I come back, I will be introducing my guest. My name is Toby Jolubo. Welcome back, guys. Well, passing, how has peer pressure affected you?
Yeah, personally for me, I call it peer influences. I grew up in a rough city in Port Harcourt, so growing up there, things like that is things that happens to you every day on the street.
That's what you call direct pressure?
Yeah, direct peer pressures and all that. So the way I say it is peer pressure are things that will make you to do things normally you wouldn't have done, but you want to be accepted or be seen as a cool guy among your friends. Most times, it could be negative, it could be positive. But most times, the way we look at it is usually negative, right? So usually, it was a little bit so much for me because I could say I came from a middle...
Can you be precise about which exactly?
Yeah, I came from, I can say I came from a middle class family.
Okay.
So moving to Port Harcourt at early stage, I had to go play with the low class families. Okay. And you get exposed to things you don't see usually in your circle of family. Yeah. So a lot happened to me from smoking, maybe drinking, trying to do some sexual stuffs, things like that. But, yeah, but at the end of the day, I think I turned out good.
Oh,
but
nice.
They exist anyways.
Oh, that's true. Radia, do you want to share your experience with me? How has peer pressure affected you? Directly or indirectly?
All right. I think I'm at this point where the kind of pressure I have, I won't say is peer pressure, maybe like an indirect type of pressure. Okay. Where I feel like, my mates are, right now, my mates are like working, my mates are doing this type of thing, my mates are spending this type of they are buying this type of things, and sometimes I just want to be at that point, but I try to not want to
allow it affect you.
Yeah, something like that. So it's like, I want to do this I want to go into art, but they're like, are you sure you can
That's coming from where exactly?
That's coming from my friends, my circle personally now is like, how long would it take to actually be able to monetize these things? Can you make money out of this? Are you sure this is something you...
So that's discouraging.
Makes me, want to just the pressure, the things I'm seeing around makes me want to say, okay, I think people are just selling things online. Let me just open a jewelry store online and start selling. Kind of pressure. That's the point I am at the moment.
Manachi, do you want to share your experience?
Peer pressure is... Like he said, it's real.
Okay.
Some people might think my mind is strong. Nobody can penetrate. But that's the thing. It creeps in slowly. Sometimes it could just be some people mention some things this guy does this, this guy does this. Okay. And you're alone.
Yeah.
What would it be like if I did this?
Okay, so you silently think about it.
So peer pressure, and for me, personal experiences. Okay. I have not had a lot. Okay. But yeah, let's say the area of, I'm an artist, right? So
I see.
Every time I get into the studio, the first thing they want to ask you is, what you smoke before you record?
Whoa. So that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Before you can become an artist.
No, it's not like beef. It's not a criteria. That's the thing. It's not a criteria, but they just assume that it must be done.
You need to be under an influence of something.
An influence, right? So, and when you say no, this guy, you're.
Wow. So that's the world we find ourselves right now. Okay, so let me see, what of indirect pressure? How does indirect pressure even creep into us? And do you think indirect pressure just creep into you? Maybe you do, of course, this is not coming directly. Maybe this is due to society and you're looking at it and, let me tell you some slogans. Some slogans you just say by chance. There is this guy on Instagram, I think he usually say, oi, oi, or something. And before you know it, it's everywhere. And every decent person is even saying the same thing. Do you want to say something to me?
No. It's indirect. That's a social media thing.
Yeah, the indirect pressure that comes is sometimes you wouldn't really know these things are coming to you. But after a while, you realize. I'll give an example.
Okay.
For maybe, I started off as an engineer, right? So after a couple of years in tech, I realized, okay, right now hardware is not really doing it for me. Whoa. Because I get to see a lot of guys in software, like getting remote jobs and making a whole lot of money, maybe 4 or 5 times my monthly salary. They do it in like a week. Okay. So I'm like, oh, the pressure is getting to you. Okay, that's true. Yeah, it's a pressure because these are willing people you usually have same income stream with, same income per month. But when you see they're starting to do things way above your budget, so you get indirect pressures. Like I said, it could be positive. This is actually very positive. So you go back to the drawing board. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do this. Improve myself. How can I improve myself? Because you feel like you need to level up. So to me, it's indirect, but it's a positive. It's positive. So it could come in different ways. You could look at it from a negative way. Let me look at it from this way. I'll use teenagers as an example. They don't like to be called teenagers. They're Gen Zs. You are late millennial. Noted. Exactly. So the way I look at it is, I have nephews and nieces, right? So I see them go to school, come back. I know how they are on a usual day. Okay. So I have a particular nephew. Okay. So I realized that, went to boarding school, you're back in the house, and he doesn't do certain things anymore. I've been through this phase before, so I actually can tell, sleeping pattern is distorted. Okay. Can't stay asleep for a longer time. Okay. So there are signs there when peer pressure is getting to a kid. Monia, so what pressure would you say you face the most, direct or indirect pressure?
The most, I really can't. It's not something I quantify while I'm going through it, so I really can't know. What have you? Well,
I think it'll be indirect because I don't think people try to pressurize you. Like when they are pressurizing you, I don't think it's something that is like intentional a lot of times. It's like only if it's like parents, that's when it's mostly like intentional. They're trying to be like, look, be this, be that. But if it's like things you see around, your peers, sometimes it's not like somebody, you're being direct though. Okay. All right, I'll go on a quick commercial break, and when I come back, we will continue on peer pressure. Still on TLC, our in-house etiquette coach, Remy Tidema, will be taking us on shoe etiquette. Take a look. Welcome back, guys. We're still in the leading circle. We're discussing peer pressure. Passing, when would you say you've actually faced the most pressure? I think the most pressure I've faced in my life have to be my teenage years. Oh, okay. Because at that point, it's your formative years, and you're trying to figure out who you are. It's important. At that point, you don't really know who you are. That's true. Basically. So all the instruction you've had was from school or from your parents. Now you're hanging out with a few guys who you really don't know where they grew up, your environment, but you guys are together because things bring you together. Let's say, for example, I went to a federal government school. Okay. So in this school,
You know how Port Harcourt was? Kids of 14, 15 have access to guns, knives, yeah.
That's the first time I'm hearing that about Port Harcourt.
Okay. So I'm talking these like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Okay.
And you go to school, you hear like your friends, like they don't want to talk to you because they think you are a little bit too goody. Or you like book or whatever. They don't really want to associate. You feel like left out because these are guys you play soccer with. They want to go do some special thing.
So that's why you were a teenager?
Yes, that's the pressure I faced the most because they will tell you, oh, we're going to, go to maybe this girl's school to link up, or they're probably going to fight someone, and you want to be, for them to like tap you at the back. You want to be among.
Okay.
It's important for you to. Well, that's the most pressure, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
But Jaya, do you want to tell me when you faced the most pressure?
Well, I'm still young.
Okay, so sorry to the late millennials, yeah? It's fine. She said she's still young. Okay.
I can't really say this is the point in my life right now where I've felt the most pressure.
You're in the university right now,
yes,
right?
Yes, I am.
What level?
I'm a second year.
Second year.
Yeah.
Ever since you got into school, have you faced any particular pressure from friends, lecturers?
Honestly, not really.
Not really?
In school, not really.
Okay.
Probably before I, got into school, and that was like the, that period where you're like trying to get into school.
Okay.
You had like time and all of that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we had like people, people would be like, oh, you're a virgin, that's so cute.
Oh, okay. So that was,
kind of a
stage in your life.
Yeah, it was kind of.
So how did you overcome that?
I didn't overcome it.
Okay, so I'll come back to that. Monashi, do you want to tell me the most times you faced pressure on anything?
If care is not, I think I'm the one pressurizing people.
Wow, can you imagine? Mona said it's the one.
Because I was like one of the first things I said. If you have a mind of your own, like
okay.
Some people they say, okay, the people. I'm not saying I grew up in a Christian home.
Okay.
But just the way you have people that grew up in a Christian home and they have like.
A prodigal son.
Yeah, not prodigal son per se.
Okay.
Just things that they know they cannot do.
Okay, so
they're rooted like that.
All right. So you are that person. Is that what you're saying?
Is that what I said? No, that was not what I
said. Just let me know.
I'm saying that's what I'm working towards. So I'm not really being pressurized.
Okay.
Like that.
So let me take you back there. You mentioned the fact that just hold on. You mentioned the fact that you were virgin in school. You have friends that realize the fact that you're still a virgin.
That was before I even got into school.
Okay.
Yeah.
That should be secondary school.
Like that
period of time while you're looking for admission.
Transition, yeah.
Okay, so that was the time friends were pressuring you to. I want you to share it.
I wouldn't necessarily say friends were pressuring me like, yo, go and have sex or something.
Okay.
But then it was just like a thing where that was the time where people are like, oh my God, I had sex and it was so nice. Do you think that was the whole, everybody just had it going on, and I kind of just wanted to have it going on.
I would share my own experience because that happened while I was in uni.
Oh,
so it was something similar to yours. I was still a virgin, so I had friends knew about it because I would not want to go to a guy's house to sleep, and it was okay for them to wanting to introduce me to guys so that they would be sure I am saying the truth.
Yeah.
So they ganged up and wanted to rape me, and I was able, I managed to escape myself after being locked for like 3 hours. So it was that bad. And I also had friends that would want to sedate my food just so that they could have guys spend and go on the rounds with me. So that's the reason I went through that pressure of, no, you don't have to talk in her presence. She's still a V girl. That was the word I started hearing. So trust me, we all have all gone through pressure one way or the other. And I always say it is the community and the society isn't helping when parents don't prepare their children.
That's true.
Do you understand? And so that's what that brings me to my next question, saying, what way do you think we can actually curb peer pressure Do we need to inform the kids and prepare them against what do they need to face? Or do we need to just agree to the fact that they would overcome it? What do you think, Person?
Yeah, personally, what I think is that I'm a very practical person. Like, I would like to put things the way it worked out for me because I didn't turn out badly. Not totally.
All
so
right.
I'll put it this way. The first point is confidence.
You have to instill confidence?
Yeah, you need to instill confidence in your kids or however it is. You really need to tell them, because a kid that has confidence will realize that smoking with you is like definitely no, right?
Okay, I get it.
So, and again, you need to be friends with your kids.
Very important.
If like, for example, I'll give an example. I have an only sister.
Okay.
I'm older than her by 9 years.
Okay.
Yeah, but she tells me things that she can't tell my elder brother.
Okay.
Because I'm more accessible.
Okay.
Like, she can't say anything. I'll like, wow, why did you do that? I shout. I'll like try to understand and tell her, oh, this can happen and this can happen.
So parents not being accessible to their kids.
Yeah, especially when they overreact over things and they won't want to tell you the next time. And trust me, streeter parents, street and being helpful is not the same thing. There's a thin line between being overly straight.
Okay.
Usually we have this thing, we always say, pastor kids are always the worst.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
that's
because
true.
they can't tell their kids things without them going religious on them.
That's true.
And these are not ways to train kids. So you have to instill confidence, be open to them.
Okay. And
always try to talk to them. Like, know when to have that talk. It's important to know when to have the talk. So,
did your mom have that talk with you?
Honestly,
was there ever a time she sat you down to tell you, okay, so if you don't go through this, if you're going to meet up with a guy, you need to let me know,
I don't think their generation had enough information to know that to have a child, you have to like do some work, like learn things about like taking care of a child, like realizing that child too is human and that child has a mind of their own.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So like, these people, they wouldn't even talk about like, they wouldn't even want to talk about sex with their kids, not to talk of like peer pressure, don't smoke with your friend.
Okay.
No.
Manachi, did your dad ever walk you through, you're going into the university, I just need to prepare your mind about how you need to handle peer pressure with friends or society?
To be honest, I don't think I pay attention that much. Because I'm trying to live my own life.
Okay.
So if they come at me telling me, I already know what I'm going to... They've not, to be honest,
they've not had a conversation with you. But would you have the conversation with your own kids?
But the conversation now, I don't even know, because I don't know how I would start. But let me get there first.
Okay.
But yeah, I would definitely want to be closer to my kids and, prevent them from falling into bad company and all of that. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but by the grace of God.
Okay, that's fine. Would you, Rodia, have the conversation with your kids?
Honestly, I feel like having kids, like being with your kids, it's just like being in a relationship and you're like, the five love languages, like you're constantly affirming those children, like, you are an amazing person, you're smart.
So that's
obviously,
you instilling confidence into
yes,
them.
like you have to like talk to them, try to like know what's going on, not that you have to be prying into their lives and stuff like that, but yeah.
You would have the conversation with them?
Yeah.
Passing?
Yeah, like I've always, deep down me, I've always, like I'm an employer of labor right now. Okay. So the way I see my staff, the way I talk to them, the way I relate to them, there are some things I picked up when I was doing regular 8 to 5 from my bosses. I know terrible bosses. I've met terrible bosses.
Okay.
So I picked a few things. Now, when I have my own staff, I know how to, there's ways I go about doing things. And I think most times we end up working with people who are not as educated as us. So everybody have a level that you have to come down to them. So when I have kids or when I have a kid, I'll definitely have my way of parenting. Okay. But the core values of my parenting will be confidence. Like she said, you need to talk to them. Sometimes the kid might not really do well in school. You don't have to say, why didn't you do well in school? Why didn't you do this? These things will draw them away from you. You need to talk to them nicely, tell them nice words. You can do anything, you can achieve whatever, So I think that's the way I'm gonna go about it. Confidence, being close to them, being their friends, and always know when to have the conversation with them. And they'll know, I'll tell everything. I'll call Dick, I'll call Pisa, I'll call everything. Yeah, I'll say it the way they are. Like, no, like peer pressure can get to the smarter of the case if they don't have the good foundation.
That's true.
So I would do the best I can as a parent.
All right. Thank you so very much, guys. We'll go on a break. We'll be right back.